Rolls-Royce has unveiled its first electric car. The Spectre Coupe received a 585 horsepower powerplant, 23-inch wheels unique to the class and a traction battery integrated into the chassis, allowing it to drive up to 520 kilometers without recharging. The electronic architecture of decentralized intelligence, which provides direct data exchange between all functions of the car, and the digital architecture of Spirit with full support for the proprietary Whispers application, also debuted on Spectre. Like the Cullinan, the Spectre two-door does not fit into any of the existing segments. For the first electric Rolls-Royce, its own class of ultra-high-speed electric supercups was invented, in which there are simply no other players. In fact, we have before us the spiritual heir of the Phantom Coupe and at the same time the replacement of the Wraith Fastback. In length, more than 5.4 meters, the Spectre is inferior to the standard, not long wheelbase Ghost, but 7 centimeters superior to the Cadillac Escalade. Spectre is based on the architecture of luxury platform with complex extruded aluminum profiles and an integrated traction battery. The power structure here is 30% tougher than on any other Rolls-Royce. The battery is installed flush with the bottom, and a special channel is made above it for cables and the pipeline of the climate control system. The battery on the Spectre not only feeds electric motors, but also acts as a 700 kilogram noise-insulating gasket between the road and the cabin. The Spectre debuted a new electronic architecture decentralized intelligence, which provides direct and free data exchange between all functions of the car. The number of subfunctions of onboard electronics compared with the same Phantom has increased 35 times. There are 5 kilometers more wiring in an electric car and 25 times more lines of program code. The coefficient of frontal aerodynamic drag of the Spectre is 0.25. Not only the body shape was optimized, but also the Spirit of Ecstasy statuette and the radiator grille, by the way, the widest in the history of Rolls-Royce. The two-tier optics serve as a reference to the original Phantom Coupe and at the same time demonstrate the brand's new corporate identity. For the first time in almost 100 years, there are wheels with a diameter of 23 inches on a serial coupe. The electric car is equipped with a planar suspension and 18 sensors to control the car in turns. The fundamental difference from Ghost is the openable stabilizers of transverse stability. The control system receives data from navigation. On bumps, the electronics opens the stabilizers for a comfortable ride, and closes them before turns, increases the stiffness of the shock absorbers and puts the steering mechanism of the rear wheels on alert, increasing grip and stability. The innovations of the Salon are the Starlight doors with 4,796 fiber optic light guides and the Spectre inscription on the front panel, surrounded by a cluster of more than 5,500 stars. The multimedia electric car operates under the control of the Spirit digital architecture. The mass of the Spectre is 2,975 kilograms. Power plant power 585 horsepower and 900 newtons of torque. These are inconclusive figures, they will be clarified in the second quarter of 2023. From a place to 100, the electric Super Coupe accelerates in 4.5 seconds, Ghost, 4.8s, Phantom, 5.3s. The range is 520 kilometers on the WLTP cycle. If for many brands the transition to electric drive meant the scrapping of the foundations, then in the case of Rolls-Royce, the opposite is true. Technology has now come into the best correspondence with the philosophical basis of the movement of cars from Goodwood. For Rolls-Royce, the transition to electric traction seems to be the most natural step in the gradual replacement of today's model range. At the same time, the possibility itself has been studied for a long time. The electric prototype 102EX based on the Phantom 7 was sent on a round-the-world tour in 2011 to introduce about 500 customers to the car. The management of Rolls-Royce recognizes that the architecture of luxury platform, first declassified 5 years ago, was originally created with the expectation of electric power plants. At the same time, the transition to electric traction was prepared with special care. It is reported that the test program of the Spectre was 2.5 million kilometers. At the same time, the geography of the tests varied from the Swedish Arctic and 40-degree frost to South Africa and 55-degree heat. It is already known that the price of Spectre will fall into the gap between Cullinan and Phantom.